You're still under oath, sir?
Yeah.
Yes, my lord.
As a court, please, my lord, if I can have the opportunity to address the court.
Yeah.
This matter stood down yesterday at the request of counsel for accused number 5 for this witness, Sergeant Tetwa, to bring copies of his qualifications and training certificates.
Yeah.
On the assumption that the court has not yet made a ruling on this point, we wish to raise an objection to this proposed course of action by counsel. We submit, my lord, that it is an unusual request for a witness to prove his experience and training, especially an ordinary police officer, as Mr. Ramusipile put it, a bobby on the beat. My lord, the basis of the objection is the following. The witness testified as an ordinary police officer. He did not hold himself out to be an expert in crime scene management. Those witnesses will come and testify soon after this witness. We submit, my lord, that it is those forensic field workers who must prove their expertise, not an ordinary police officer who, whilst on crime prevention duties and patrolling duties, gets a call to attend a scene. And as we've pointed out, my lord, in his capacity as just a bobby on the beat, we submit, my lord, that the qualifications and training certificates are irrelevant. If the witness had held himself out as an expert regarding crime scene management and found to be wanting in certain respects, then one would understand, my lord, then that that witness will then be called upon to prove his expertise. This witness, my lord, has explained as to why at that stage they did not secure the crime scene. They made a value judgment at that particular point in time. We submit, my lord, that it has nothing to do with his qualifications and training certificates. The witness mentioned that they sometimes get fake call-outs for robberies, only to find, my lord, when they arrive on the scene, that those were prank calls. And he mentioned that there was nothing on the scene that could have indicated to them that there was something wrong that happened there. My lord, it's all easy now with the benefit of hindsight to criticize them, but at that particular time, they made this value judgment as we've indicated. We submit, my lord, that if would be witnesses who are ordinary police officers are required to bring copies of their certificates of their training that they underwent and qualifications, that might deter such witnesses from testifying. We therefore submit, my lord, that this request ought to be declined. The court pleases.
Yeah, I've listened to you, but Ms. Mshololo says this will in some way contribute to the defense of her client. You heard that. So this court can deny a submission that a particular witness, if he produces, as you say, these certificates, it will contribute to the proper defense of her client, which her client is entitled to in terms of the Constitution.
But
So this court can be seen to be minimizing or debarring counsel for accused number 5 from pursuing that exigency, okay?
But we submit, my lord, that then they must bring a formal application indicating as to why they need copies of such qualifications and copies of training certificates, and indicate in which way there'll be prejudice in their defense if those documents are not produced.
Now we'll have to listen to that, okay?
Yes.
Thanks, Mr. Solomon. The witness is still under oath. Have you brought the documents?
Ingabe amaphepha la ngicela uwaphethe?
Cha.
No.
Oh. It's your witness.
Mr. Mthethwa, yesterday when I was asking you if you knew what you were supposed to do at the crime scene as a result of the training that you have received, you said you can't tell this court about the training, whether in-house or any kind of a training you have received. You remember yesterday?
Izolo ke nkathi ngikubuza ke mayela no ukuthi ukwazi yini okufanele ukwenze nkathi uya lapha yana kwisini wasuthi ke akwazi ke uyitshela lenkantolo mayela nama training owawathola noma ama course owawahamba ke phakathi emaphoyiseni.
Ngathi ngiyakwazi.
No, uthe awukho kwisimo sokuthi ungayitshela inkantolo ukuthi awapha ama course owahambile yipi training oyitholile.
Oh ngoba awekho wonke la ekhanda lami.
Yes, because I couldn't think about all of them from my head, the top of my head.
Yes. And then you requested that if you can bring them tomorrow or you can make a list, you'll correct me what you said yesterday. You said you can make a list or you can tell this court today about those training that you have received.
Uzongilungisa uma kuukuthi ngenza iphutha okushilo izolo ukuthi uzokwenza noma uzoza nawe namuhla.
Yebo kunjalo.
That is indeed correct.
Yes. Can you tell the court?
Ungayitshela ke?
Oh bengithi ngizokwenza into ekahle ngiwacele lapha emsebenzini ukuthi bangiprintele khona. Kwawukuthi ngishawa isikhathi ukuthi HR bavala ngo4 ngaphuma late lapha.
I was under the impression, or I thought that I would do a proper thing by going to my workplace to request them at the HR to make a printout for me. Unfortunately, they closed at 4, so leaving here, the time was against me when I left the court.
So as a result of that, you cannot be able to tell this court whether we have received any training or not.
Ngenxa ke yalokho awukho kwisimo ke sokuthi ungayitshela lenkantolo ukuthi i-training wayithola noma cha.
Kodwa ngithe mase ngimabheka kamanye endlini nje sengicabanga mina ama course engiwenzile ngingabala i-domestic violence,
Okay.
vulnerable children, first responder to the sexual offense, then nama shooting
Okay,
practice.
maybe let's start one by one if we are now mentioning them. Number one, you're saying it's a training on domestic violence.
Yebo noma ngeke ke ngisabala iminyaka ukuthi kulonyaka so ngangikanje. Yes.
Yes, although I can't be specific and attach a year and said by this year I did this course.
Okay,
Kwaba i domestic violence
yes, that's number one.
and vulnerable children,
Okay,
then kube i first responder to the sexual offense.
okay. That's all.
Ebe ngisawakhumbula ngathi lawo then ke kube ngama shooting ke practice ke.
Those are the ones that I'm able to remember. Then you have the shooting practices.
Okay, at the college, other than trained to drill, were you also trained? Did you receive any training regarding the crime scene, duties of the crime scene? at the training?
College ke ngaphandle kokudrill nje ama training wona ke ukuthi uma uya ku crime scene ukuthi kufanele wenze kanjani wona nawe athola.
Or a college phela sikwenza konke college.
At the college we do everything.
Okay, so in other words, we have received a necessary training regarding the duties that you were supposed to conduct at the crime scene.
Okusho ukuthi ke ama training ukuthi kufanele wenzeni uma uku crime scene lokho wona kona waqeqeshelwa.
yebo college.
Yes, at the college.
And you were reckless in leaving the crime scene with Mr. Khumalo.
I think that is an issue that council can raise in argument.
Can I rephrase, my lord? Let's move on furthermore. After that, just one more question. Now, after you had left the crime scene with Mr. Themba Khumalo, do you know if there were any exhibits that were placed or removed inside the house?
Manje ke emuva kokuthi senimshiyileke ubaba uThemba Khumalo laphayana ngabe niyazi yini ukuthi khona ama exhibits asuswa noma abekwa phakathi endlini?
Ngayilutho ngophela ngoba sasingekho.
No, because we were not there.
Thank you, my lord. I've got no further questions.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Following any read?
No re-examination. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Siyabonga ke Nyambo sir.
Siyabonga la.
Yes.
As before we call the next witness, Advocate Nisi indicated that we'd like to address the court.
Oh, is that so? Okay. Ms. Nisi, yes.
As it please the court, my lord. My lord, I think there are new developments.
Hello?
I'm saying there are new developments
Oh, is that so?
in respect of Mr. Mnube.
Mr. Mnube?
Yes, that's
Is that your
accused number
client?
3. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, my lord. This relates to count number. It relates to count number 4. Yes. My lord, over and above the plea of guilty, I mean the plea of not guilty, not guilty.
What's the charge? What's count for?
That it relates to unlawful
Ammunition.
possession of firearm.
Okay.
Yes, my lord. That's now over and above of the plea of not guilty. We are amending our plea to add a plea of autrefois convey. That is now in terms of section 106, my lord. I mean 106 subsection 2 of the Criminal Procedure Act.
Yeah.
Thank you, my lord.
No, but we just made a submission. We haven't supported the submission. Atrafoy can be.
Yes, my
It
lord.
means he was charged and he was acquitted.
No, he was convicted.
He was
charged
convicted.
and convicted of the very same offense relating
Relating
to
to the same,
relating to the very same firearm. or
Same
weapon.
firearm.
Yes, that it is alleged.
and he was
in count
charged in which
number
court?
4. He was charged in Joburg.
What? Regional court, district
He
court,
was in the High Court, my lord.
high court?
Yes.
When was that?
That was in 2016, 2015, 2015, my lord.
20, no, but you must give me the full date, sir.
May I take instruction
Yes,
in that
yes.
regard, my lord? I thought
And
that-
do you have a copy of the charge sheet?
No, we don't have it, my lord. The
No.
indictment? No, we don't
Yeah,
have
but
it.
you're telling me he was acquitted on a similar charge.
No, I'm not saying he was acquitted. He was
Atrafoy
convicted.
convict.
Convey, yes.
Hello?
Autrefois convey. Autrefois acquit is Autrefois. That's why
Was
he
he
was
acquitted?
Yes.
That's
But
it.
in
Where's the
this
charge?
instance-
I need a copy of the charge sheet.
No, in this instance, my lord,
Yeah,
he is saying
yeah.
he was convicted, which is Autrefois convey. He served.
No problem.
Yes. So I thought, my lord, that for me for us to just tell the court that we are amending our plea to read autrefois convey, and over and above the plea of not guilty in terms of section 106 subsection 2 will suffice. It never dawned in my mind, my lord, that we also need to bring charge
Yeah,
sheet
okay,
and
fine,
proof.
fine, I hear you.
Yes.
So he was convicted of being in possession of which firearm?
The firearm that is alleged in count number 4.
Is that the ZEC?
That is-
the check CPS?
We don't know if that is exactly the same
No,
firearm.
you see, that's the problem. I could have an R5 rifle, an R4 rifle. I could have had a revolver. I could have had a handgun. So you've got to give me the particulars, because if you give me those particulars, then Mr. Baloyi will have to respond. Are you with me?
Let me quickly take
Yes.
a 1 minute instruction, man. Thanks for indulgence.
Yes, yes.
He's telling me that the firearm that was in issue here, it's the firearm that Mr. Dlamini and Mr. Masondo came to testify about. And the case was completed on the 27th, it was finalized on the 27th of July, 2017.
27th of July,
2017.
2017.
Yes, it relates to the evidence that was supplied to this court by Mr. Dlamini and Mr. Masondo.
So he was charged with possession of that particular firearm
Yes, my lord.
only.
My lord?
Only. He wasn't charged with possession of ammunition. He wasn't charged with possession of a firearm whose serial number has been erased. You know about that charge. You can be charged in terms of the Act 60 of 2000, if I
Yes.
still recall, right?
Yes, madam.
You can be charged with being in possession of a firearm whose serial particulars have been erased. You can also be charged with being in possession of a firearm
Yes, my lord.
of a particular serial number. And you can be charged also with an ancillary charge of being in possession of that firearm,
Yes.
which was also, like the magazine we told about when they were making the firearm safe, contained ammunition without having a license to possess, ammunition from which a lawfully acquired firearm could have been possessed. Are you with me? So there are 101 charges. So
No.
which charge are you telling me about?
My lord, I'm specifically referring to what the state is alleging against
No,
him
no,
in count
here's the
number
state.
4.
You, those are instructions. I've been acquitted, I've been charged, and I served a sentence. What was the sentence?
No, he doesn't say he was acquitted, my lord.
Oh, what does it
says
say?
he was convicted.
Yes, what is a sentence? If you're convicted, you serve a sentence.
Man, I don't think that the issue of a sentence for now is relevant.
It
Because
arises.
Yes, it's got to
Ask
be
your
determined.
colleagues here.
No, it's not relevant, my lord.
What? You're charged with murder, like Ratam Khwashing. And then you say, oh, my sentence of life is not relevant. Is that what your submission is?
So the court basically wants all the
No,
particulars in
of
relation
course.
to this.
Yes, the court has a duty to investigate whether, in fact, what you are saying is correct. Then I'll go to the state and say, but this gentleman has served the sentence, or he's due to be sentenced, or there was a trial
Yes.
and he pleaded guilty.
I thought, my lord, that will come at the end of the trial.
No ways.
When the guilt or the not guilt of the accused is supposed to
No,
be
you told me
determined.
about acquittals and convictions.
My lord, in terms of the act,
What does the Act say?
the act says an accused person is entitled over and above a plea of guilty
Yes.
to plead any other plea, a plea of not guilty, to plead any other plea except for the plea of guilty. In other words, an accused person cannot plead a plea, he cannot tender a plea of guilty with any other plea. But in respect of a plea of not guilty, he can raise other pleas as well, including jurisdiction, outre fois acquis, outre fois convi, lack of prosecutorial authority, and all those.
And
That
I
is
must-
exactly what I'm doing.
And I mustn't know about whether that trial was finalized or not.
Maybe that's just a technical argument. my
It's
lord.
not technical,
We
it's
will
the
give
essence
that
of the
information
charge.
to the court, my lord.
It goes into the essence of the. Mr. Baloyi, this is cause one criminal law.
Yes.
What do you say?
Well, my lord, this is new information that is being raised. We'll investigate that. But indeed, I think in terms of section 106,
Yeah.
accused can raise various pleas
course, yeah.
at a plea stage. And the verdict thereon will then be relevant at the time when a verdict on the merits.
No. We're subjecting an accused person who is entitled to be presumed innocent.
Yes.
Is innocent. When he is being discharged on a particular offense, you are saying he
Yes.
must stand trial for that Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you, my lord.
Yeah.
But
So the court has got to know whether
yes,
he was charged and was there a trial and what was the result of the trial.
yes.
Because you can't be charged. Americans call it double jeopardy.
Indeed, my lord.
That's it.
Yes,
You can't be charged twice for the same offense.
Yes.
Me, if I'm satisfied what Mr. Mnisi is saying, that his client is being charged twice, I must intervene.
Yes.
But I can't intervene until the state has advised me that there's some merit in the submission Mr. Mnisi is
Yes, but
tendering.
But that will not be the end of the matter, my lord. If, say, for instance, an admission is made that, look, on that particular day, the accused was in possession of, that firearm and is already been convicted of that, then for the purpose of the current trial, that will then obviate the need to lead evidence regarding that aspect. But we submit that the effect of a conviction will not be the end of the,
Say, was he convicted? Was he charged with the very firearm which is described in the force? It's not
Yes.
the Cleveland. Is it the Cleveland or the
Yeah,
Alexander charge?
Yes, yes, there's something that we'll have to investigate, my
No,
lord.
you can't investigate. Then, of course, I must know, because I can't allow evidence to be led against an accused who has been acquitted or convicted of a particular charge to be again led. That's why when you get the end of a trial, the state is required to prove previous convictions.
Yes,
That's it.
yes,
Now, according to my colleague here, his client has a previous conviction. Hello, Mr. Mnisi.
My lord.
Am I understanding you correct?
Yes, my
He's
lord.
got a previous conviction.
I might not call it a previous conviction, my lord. I prefer to call it outre fois conduit.
Don't confuse issues. Does your client have a previous conviction of being charged with the possession of a firearm which is described in the Alexander or Cleveland case as a Czech CPZ firearm which did not have serial registration numbers?
He was found guilty, my lord, of those charges. Of that
Was he
charge.
charged with that firearm?
Yes, my lord.
Right. And He was found guilty.
He was convicted, my lord.
Found guilty, convicted.
Yes.
It's just semantics. He was found guilty.
Yes, my lord.
Right. Is he serving a sentence for that? Or was he imposed a fine?
No, he served a particular sentence.
Mr. Baloi, are you with me? Did you hear what your colleague is saying?
Yes.
So that evidence, which was led by Mtimkulu Numatebula, it's unconstitutional and unlawful because it relates to a crime which your Mrs. client was charged in respect of.
But my lord, the court will remember that
Yeah.
during the Section 150 address, the state indicated that the state will aver that the firearm that was found in accused number 3's possession is being connected with the bullet point that was found on the scene.
Okay.
So the purpose of leading the evidence
All right.
will then be to indicate that the accused was in possession of this firearm, which is later connected to the bullet point that was found on the scene.
This is the,
That would be the purpose of
yeah,
the
fine, I
evidence
hear
of
you.
the
This
two
is a
cases.
Czechoslovakian CPZ
Yes.
firearm.
Yes.
So it has got nothing to do with his conviction.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Mnisi, what is yours? Are you saying that evidence is unlawful, unconstitutional, and irregular?
That is my sentiment, my lord.
Okay.
Thank you, my lord.
Is he serving a sentence for that? I don't have to, you know what? You're putting this court in an invidious position. I don't have to know about previous convictions of clients,
Yes,
of accused persons.
that is the reason why I say, in terms of the act, suffices for the defense to say we're pleading over and above the plea of not guilty. We also saying we also continues to plead autrefois conduit. That is, he has already been convicted of the offense that the state has preferred against him in relation to count number 4.
No, but they're relating it to the present count, which relates to a force lurus docket. Am I correct, Mr.?
Indeed, my
It's not related to the Cleveland docket or the Alexander docket. Am I?
Indeed, my lord.
Okay, fine. Then I will listen to the evidence.
As it is a court.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Right.
Mr. Mncube uzokwazi ukuthi bekukhulunywa ngani ummeli wakho ebekusazisa inkantolo noma echazela inkantolo ukuthi ngaphezu kwalokho bese nikushilo ke ngaphambilini befisa nje ukuthi atshele noma azise inkantolo ukuthi lo bufakazi lobu bekuthulwa uMasondo la kanye naye uDlamini mayelana nesibhamu lesiyana abathi satholakala kuwena ukuthi ke isibhamu leso ke owachargewa ke ngaso wase futhi ke ulahlwa icala khona wase futhi kuba nesigwebo ke futhi osuyosihlalela noma soyosidonsa manje ke umehluleli asithi ke akwanele nje ukuthi anikeze kufanele anikezwe imininingwane yonke iphelele mayelana necala lelo ngoba ke kuzofanele enze isinqumo ukuthi ke ingabe manje kuthule ubufakazi ngecala oseulidonsile noma oseuhlelele vele ejele kodwa kumshushisa uma ngabe sephendula ke yena ke ukuthi lobo bufakazi bebungethulelwa idocket leli lase Cleveland noma elase Alexander ukuthi ke isibhamu lesi esatholakala kuwena isibhamu ke abasihlanganise nepoint yenhlamvu noma ibullet point eyatholakala kwisini kuleli icala esibhekene nalo la enkantolo.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Baloi.
As the court pleases, my lord, the state then calls the next witness. It's Sergeant Timothy Matebula. It's witness number 35 on the list, my lord.
It's number 35.
Indeed, my lord.
25.
35.
Oh, sorry, yeah, 35. Okay. So the witness in?
Okay. Sicela igama nesibongo bakho.
Timothy Matebula.
Uyimisela ukufunga Mr. Matebula ukuthi uzokhuluma iqiniso.
Yebo.
Yafunga ubufakazi ozobethula babeqiniso iqiniso kodwa liphelele phakamisa isandla Nkosi ngisize ngikhuluma iqiniso.
Nkosi ngisize ngikhuluma iqiniso.
There was a witness is son in my lord.
Thank you.
Mahlala.
Right.
You are a police officer in the South African Police, is that correct?
Uyiphoyisa ke kwi South African Police kunjalo?
Yebo,
Yes, my lord.
What is your rank?
Isikhundla sakho?
sergeant.
I'm a sergeant.
And to which unit of the police are you attached?
Ukuyiphi unit emaphoyiseni?
Visible CSC.
Vispol CSC.
Yes, to which police station are you attached?
Ukuyiphi police station?
First Loras SAPS.
Force Loras SAPS.
How many years service do you have?
Uneminyaka emingaki usebenza njengephoyisa?
16.
16.
Sorry, something just strikes me, and I don't want Mr. Mnisi to be prejudiced. You remember concerning that firearm, the CPZ firearm? Should I quote you what you said? Should I quote you?
I don't know what the court is referring to when the court says it should quote me, because I've said so many things.
No, but this one is very critical.
Yes.
My client will say he has nothing whatsoever to do with that firearm. You remember?
Yes.
Yeah, let's leave it at that.
Thank you, my lord.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
That was now in relation to this case.
Yeah, Bo,
Yes.
that's it.
Thank you, my lord. Yes.
I don't want to say this case. Because when you say you don't know if Jesus Christ was born, it means Jesus Christ's birth. I was a lutongayo. We're talking about a one firearm. Are you with me?
Yes, my lord.
Yes.
But now,
wait,
that firearm,
I'm going
so
to
far
leave it at
as it
that.
was used
Wait,
in this
wait.
case.
No. Think about that.
In First Lora's case.
We're talking about one firearm.
Yes, my lord.
Right, fine.
Thank
That's
you,
all.
madam.
That's all. I
Thank
want to
you.
bring it to your attention.
Thank you, my lord. It's well appreciated.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Sorry about that.
Mr. Mncube ke inkantolo ikhumbuza nje ummeli wakho ngakushilo ke nkathi labo fakazi bebelana ke ukuthi uma iphendula noma uphendula ke wena ke uthe kuyena awazi lutho noma akunalutho olukuhlanganisa nalesi sibhamu lesi uyamkhumbuza nje ukuthi into abeyishilo ke leyo.
Yes, Mr. Mloy?
As a court, please, and that is the reason why, that is the point we're trying to make earlier on. That's why we're leading this evidence.
Okay.
As a court, please, you mentioned that you've got 16 years service and attached to First Loras police station. On the 26th of October, 2014, were you on duty?
Ingabe nge 26 zika October 2014 wasemsebenzini? Yes.
What type of duties were you performing on the day in question?
Ngalelo langa lelo imuphi umsebenzi wawenza?
Attend my complaints and patrol.
Attending to complaints and patrolling.
Do you know the previous witness, Sergeant Ntetwa?
Sergeant Mthetho uyamazi lobe lapha phambi kwakho?
Yebo.
Yes.
Were you on the same shift on the 26th of October 2014?
Ngalelo langa lange 26 October 2014 nanisebenza ishift eyodwa?
Yebo.
Yes.
Can you tell the court in your own words what happened on the day in question
Awutsheleke inkantolo ukuthi yini eyenzeka ngalelo langa
regarding this matter?
mayelana nalecala leli.
May 26 October 2014.
Bengathi yaphakamisa.
May 26 October 2014. So I reported on duty 1800 hours.
On the 26th of October 2014, we reported on duty at 1800 hours.
A post was sector 1.
We were then posted or was posted at sector 1.
May you speak up?
Okay.
Okay. Yebo.
Yeah, basebenza sector 1 no constable Mthetho.
We then posted or working on sector 1 together with why you constable not it was a constable. We were still constables at the time. Constable Mthetho.
Ngibe driver yena ay crew yami.
I was the driver and he was my crew.
Sasebenza ngabo 2053 bese police station is detained.
At 2053, we were at the police station detaining.
Sathola complaint through radio control seselapha police station.
Whilst at the police station, we received a complaint via radio control,
We shooting in progress.
which was a shooting in progress.
It's number 13511 Kutlwano Mzamo for Sloras.
At number 13511 Kutlanong Street, Mzamo.
Just a
in Vos-
minute.
Sorry.
Yes.
Itema ingeni complaint sabele sayeka yonke into sarasha kuleya complaint shooting in progress.
When the complaint came through, we stopped everything and we rushed to that shooting in progress.
If you say we, who are you referring to?
Uma uthi sa yeka yonke into ukhuluma ngabani?
Constable Sergeant Tetwa na two ama student constable.
Sergeant Mtetwa and 2 constable students.
Yes.
Yebo.
Uste saya straight vele leo address le kuleso strat ngoba siyayazi ilona vele I strat siyasazi.
We then went straight to that address and the street because the street is known to us.
And how were you traveling on the day?
Nanhamba kanjani?
Isamba ngemark vehicle.
In a marked vehicle.
Yes. What type of vehicle?
Enjani?
Is it the ordinary sedan? Is it a police van? What-
Police van.
Even yamaphoyisa.
Yes. And how were you clad?
Nanigqoke kanjani?
Police uniform.
Police uniform.
Yes. You may proceed.
Yebo.
Sithema sifika kuleso strat vele sabona abantu bame ngaphandle nje.
When we got to that street, we saw people standing outside.
Yes.
Yebo.
Yo wave umama ngathi umama nje ngathi nomzimba yana but umama nje wave ukuthi bathi baye ngakho direction.
A certain lady with just a body, but she is a lady, waved to us and pointed to a particular direction.
Bese
Yes. The lady made a report to you, and then what happened?
Nase nenzani ke after ekwenzile lokho?
uyawavula iwindow umthetho wabuza ukuthi la khomba khona kuyenzakalani bese washo
Okay. Mtetwa opened the window and went and inquired from her, what is happening there toward the direction where you are pointing?
Yes. And she made a report to you.
Waphendula ke yena ne?
eh,
Yes.
Yes. What did you do as a result of the report that she made?
Uma esekushilo lokho akushoyo nina nenzani?
sesaya kuleyo direction beyasikhomba kuyo ngase park.
We went towards the direction that he was pointing out to us, to the park.
Yes.
Sacheka azange sibone umuntu lapho sabuyela back to le address.
We then checked there, we saw no one, and we went back to the address.
If you say you checked, can you just explain what did you do?
Uma uthi na checka ke yini enayenza?
Bese sibheka ngokuthi bathe ama suspects agijime aye park So bese check lawo ma suspect ukuthi maybe singakuthola abantu bese siyabasesha kanjani but asizange sithole umuntu.
They had indicated, or it was indicated that the suspect ran toward the park. So we looked at the park if we could see anyone, and then we would have searched those people, but we found no one.
Yes, you found no one at the park, then what happened?
Uma ningatholanga bantu noma muntu epark nasenenzani.
Sabuyela kule address number 13511.
We went back to the address at 13511.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sithemba singena uyokwenza uThemba Khumalo uze introduce as uThemba Khumalo umalume kaKheli.
As we entered, then we were approached by a gentleman who introduced himself as Themba Khumalo, Kelly's uncle.
Yes, you may proceed.
Yeah, ma.
Sambuza ukuthi kuyenzakaleni wathi sambuza ukuthi kuyenzakaleni washo ukuthi bathi kudubuleke usenzo.
We inquired from him as to what happened. He then informed us that Senzo had been shot.
As a good priest, my lord, we signaled our intention yesterday to call Mr. Themba Khumalo, may that hearsay evidence be provisionally allowed. Yes, you may proceed.
Maqhubeka.
Esahamba naye uKhumalo sangena endlini sacheka
We went into the house together with Khumalo and we checked.
Yes. So
Yeah.
what was the position regarding the house when you got there? When you got there?
Uma nifika endlini, isimo mayelana nendlu sasi kanjani?
Or maybe let's rephrase. How did you gain access to the house?
Nangena kanjani endlini?
ekuvaliwe wasivulela ubaba uKhumalo.
It was closed and Mr. Khumalo opened for us.
Yes. And which part of the house did you gain ingress into the house?
Nangena kuphi endlini?
Umnyango wasekitchen.
The kitchen door.
Yes, you may proceed.
Yeah.
Sacheka just ukuthi bone nje athi uMadlaka mix up nje ngapha kunama cans wetshwala ubonise ukuthi ngathi uyani party nyano something.
We checked and then it was sort of mixed up. On the one side we saw cans of alcohol. It appeared as if that there was some party or something.
Just a minute. And where did you see these cans of alcohol?
Lama can lana utshwala naniwabona kuphi?
Athi waphansi nje la edanyengo phansi.
I think they were on the floor in the dining room.
We just want to show you a photo 112 of Exhibit D.
So 77 more combat. Uyabona?
Angiboni.
Can you use the photo to illustrate your evidence?
These are the cans.
Yes.
Yebo.
Sambuza ukuthi kuyenzakaleni. Wathi akanayo information kahle abantu abane-information ilawo wasesibhedlela bonke bahambile.
Okay, we inquired from him as to what happened. He informed us that he didn't have information. The people with information are at the hospital. They all left.
But into ayazi ukuthi uSenzo wathi bamdubulile.
But what he knew was that Senzo was shot.
Yes.
Okay, masicela ukuchecka samcela sathi sicela akhiye ilona iminyango sigijime siyelona sothola information kahle.
When we're done checking, we then requested him to lock so that we could rush to hospital and get proper information.
So when you were done checking, what did you check? Just explain step by step. Where did you check, and what were your observations?
Ukhuluma ngokucheka ukuthi ngokulandelana ke usho ukuthi unanichekani futhi nabonani noma wabonani.
Sesichecka ukuchecka ukuthi maybe singathola ama-cartridge or yini ngoba bathi kune-shooting in progress, but masichecka lapha zabe sithole those cartridges.
Looking for maybe cartridges because we were informed that there was a shooting in progress, but when we checked, we didn't find any of those cartridges.
Did you only see the cans?
Ama can kuphela nawabona.
Into esayibona ngikhumbula kahle ngathi kune-cartridge kunelona cartridge
Ukhuluma ngani ngitsizwa? Ukhuluma ngani?
ama-cartridge nje into ehamba labahamba labalimele lapho.
Oh, okay. All right. Nani futhi?
Ngathi nesigqoko, yeah, nesigqoko.
There was a hurt, my lord, and also the witness is struggling with the word, but says what they are using, the sticks that they are using when they are hurt, in referring to crutches, or when they are injured. So.
Yes, tell the court about that. Where did you see that?
Nakubona kuphi lokho?
Bangena ekitchen on the left hand side ngasezinkeni phansi kunala.
When you enter the kitchen, on your left hand side, next to the sink, it was on the floor.
And at what stage did you see these items that you've mentioned?
Lezi zinto oyibalileke nizibone nini ngasiphi isikhathi noma ngasiphi stage?
Ngesingene ukuqala uma singene.
Just as we entered, the first time when we entered.
I just want to show you photo 3 of Exhibit C. Maybe photo 4 and 5. Yes, photo 5. That will be photo 5 of Exhibit C. You can use that photo to illustrate your evidence.
Yebo, ungasho.
Isigqoko
This is the head,
crash le.
and this is the crutch.
Yes, you may proceed.
Ungaqhubeka.
Mangikhumbula kahle ngathi ngambuza ukuthi wathi akana information, uvele wathi akana information ukuthi kuyenzakaleni kahle. So angeke asinike information. Umuntu abantu abane information laba sesibhedlela.
I remember asking him, but all he said was that he didn't have any information. The only people with information are the ones at the hospital.
Yes.
Yebo.
Ukulawo singicela khona ukuthi akakhiye bese sigijima sirashele esibhedlela ukuthi lo.
That's where we requested him to lock and then we rushed to the hospital.
Yes, we proceed.
Yebo.
driver masifika esibhedlela egate siyahlangana ne-SUV eBM.
I drove to the hospital, and then at the hospital, at the entrance of the hospital, I then came across a BMW SUV.
Yes.
Yep.
Yehamba le SUV bese natsama baphuma mangikhumbula kahle uyaphuma uKaylee uzintroduce as uKaylee Khumalo.
This BMW stopped. We also stopped. If I remember well or remember correctly, Kaylee alighted, or she introduced herself as Kaylee Khumalo. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Wabuza ukuthi size nge-incident kaSenzo ngathi yebo.
She inquired from us, "Are you here regarding Senzo's incident?" I said yes.
Yes. There was a discussion with her, and then what happened further?
Uma senikhulumile-ke naye-ke kwase kwenzekani emva kwalokho?
Saqhubeka saya phakathi esibhedlela casualty.
We went to inside the hospital to the casualty.
Yes.
Yep.
Sithe masifika casualty sithole nje ifamily engapha esayidini ya-left sacela umuntu ongasingathola information ngayo sathola usister wathi usister Nceketho.
Okay. The family was seated on the left-hand side. We then asked for someone who would assist us with information, and then we were assisted by a sister Nceketho.
Yes.
Yep.
Sister Nceketho samtshela ngamchazela ukuthi sizovele ngendaba kaSenzo athi udubulile la esibhedlela wasihambisa wasingenisa kwelinye room nje iroom elincane nje.
We informed Sister Nceketho that we were here, or that we were there, because of Senzo. We were informed that he had been shot. She then took us to a small room.
Yes.
Yep.
Sithe masingena vele kulela room manje sathola sambona vele samthola uSenzo alele ku-stretch abheke phezulu.
Indeed, when we entered that room, we found him, and Senzo was lying on a stretcher facing upwards.
Yes.
Yep.
Basho ukuthi hayi usho sekashonile vele uSenzo
Basho bona.
washo
Okay.
usister Nceketho.
Sister Nceketho then informed us that indeed Senzo was no more.
Yes.
Cela i-declaration form ukuthi vele akasekho emhlabeni uSenzo.
Celwa yini?
Celwa ya.
I then requested for a declaration confirming that indeed Senzo was late.
Yes.
Yep.
Uthe maqeda ukunikeza ngacela sasondela ngamcheck ngathi ulimele kuphi amdubule washo ukuthi amdubule la ngoba it's like bullet I had to take bullet hole line in the middle of his chest la.
Okay, I wanted to know exactly where he was shot, and then she pointed out that indeed there was a bullet hole. The witness pointed to the front.
Yes.
Yep.
Did you see that?
Wakubona lokho?
Ngiyibona.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Yep.
Ayikulawe uyaclicka khona athi kuthethwa isini le ngale muva.
That uthi kwaklika kuwe?
Waclicka wathi manje le ayisini.
That's where you then clicked that now a scene. there at the back. In other words, where we left. It's now a sin.
Yes.
Yebo.
Okay, saphume erumini sacela ngikhumbula kahle ngicela ngingafonela uconstable Mkwili ukuthi eze lapha esibhedlela.
And then, if I remember correctly, I contacted Constable Mukwili to come to the hospital.
Yes.
Yebo.
So ukuthi sizokhona ukurusha back elona kule number 13511.
So that we could rush back to number 13511.
Yes.
Yebo.
Abuyela la behleli family vele khona ngiyacela oyi1 ngasicela umuntu oyi1 ongasihamba naye endlini ngoba akekho umuntu owazi ukuthi kuyenzakaleni endlini.
Then went to the family that was seated there and requested one person who could go with us back to the house because no one knew as to what happened there.
Yes.
uMakhumalo wavolunteer wathi uzohamba nathi.
Makumalo volunteered that she was going to go with us.
Yes.
Yebo.
Ngoba sesibafonela boRamala ukuthi beze bazosala la esibhedlela. Ithe mabafika sathatha uMakhumalo yana endlini.
Because we had already called or contacted the likes of Ramala to come to hospital, so upon their arrival, we took Makumalo and left for the house.
Yes.
Yebo.
Endleleni bese wasichazela ukuthi kuyenzakaleni endlini.
On the way, or as we were traveling, she informed us as to what happened in the house.
Yes.
Sithi bese sazi ukuthi singi masifika la ngifika ngathatha yilona tape condoning tape ngavala igate singayifaka nje sa condonisini ngasho ukuthi sa condonisini.
Since I knew or were now aware that it was a sin, upon arrival there, I took a tape and cordoned off the scene.
Just want to show you photo 1 of exhibit C. If you can just use that photo to illustrate your evidence.
Here it is, the witness pointing to the tape that's on the photo.
Yes.
Okay, sangena umalume simthole vela asese lapho endlini sangena wasivulela umnyango.
We found the uncle still there. We then went in and he opened the door for us.
Yes.
Yebo.
Sema singena sacela uMakhumalo ukuthi ngoba uyebekana nenfo sothi wathi demonstrate ukuthi kuyenzakaleni la kuyenzakale khona.
And then as we entered, because Makumalo was the one with information, we then asked her to demonstrate to us as to what happened and where it happened.
Just a minute. Yes,
Yeah,
did she then do that?
Ingabe wakwenza lokho?
I just bekamile ngiyangasho ukuthi wakwenza ngoba besimile elona la engasepurchase ipurchase dining room ne-kitchen la ipurchasing.
Yes, because we were standing, I would say that she did it because we were standing in the passage between the kitchen and the dining room.
Yes, what happened further? You may not disclose what she said, what she told you. What happened further?
Ungakusho-ke anitshela kona kwase kwenzekani-ke?
Uvele sekavela athi lesigqoko is one of the suspects.
She then just said this hat belongs to one of the
As a
suspects.
court, please don't disclose what she told you. What happened further?
Uthi-ke ungangeni kwakushilo noma ukuthi wanitshelani ungakusho lokho, uchaze nje emuva kwalokho kwase kwenzekani.
What did you notice yourself?
Yini wena owayibona ngawakho amehlo?
Wasesa-check around ukuthi maybe singathola maybe ama-cartridge.
We checked around maybe, or if maybe we would be able to find the cartridges.
Yes.
Yebo.
Thina sa-check-a la bekunesigqoko khona sathola i-bullet projectile.
Where the hat was, we found a bullet projectile.
Yes, once again, we're going to show you photo 5 of Exhibit C. If you can just use the photo to illustrate your evidence.
Ungasebenzisa sona-ke lesithombe.
Somewhere.
Somewhere here, the witness pointing to where the cone is.
Yes, just for record purposes, this is photo 5 of Exhibit C. Yes.
Yebo.
Sabeka something ukuthi mawuyithole i-exhibit ubeka something for ukuthi bone ukuthi la kunelona kune-exhibit.
I think we placed something because where something is being found or when there's an exhibit, you just place something there to show that there was an exhibit here.
Yes.
Yebo.
Yise wachaza uke wachaza.
Yes.
Uke wachaza ukuthi ilona i-crutch leli.
Yes. As we indicated, please don't disclose what she told you. Did she then relate to as to what happened?
Noma ungangeni nje imininingwane awakusho ukuphinde lokho awakusho. Wabe senichazela nje ukuthi kwenzakalani. Yes.
Yes, and then what happened further?
Kwase kwenzekani-ke?
Semascheck-a sathola bekunelona ngathi umnyango wasekitchen udamagekile nje.
And as we checked, we found that the kitchen door was damaged a little bit.
We're going to show you a photo 18 and 19 of Exhibit D. Yes, if you can use the photo to illustrate the evidence.
This is where it was damaged, the witness pointing to the door in the photo.
Yes.
Yebo.
Sa-check-a semas-check-a la ngathi thola ama-blood stain ngase-dining room.
We checked, and as we checked, we found some blood stains in the dining room.
Where precisely?
Kuphi nendawo dining room?
Duze ne-couch.
Next to the couch.
I'm going to show you a photo. Photo number 65, I'm sorry, photo number 65.
Yeah, it is.
If you
The
can-
witness pointing to the floor next to the couch. Photos number 65.
Yes.
Yebo?
Yeah, such izinto esazithola la. Yeah, izinto esazithola.
Yeah, that's what we found there.
Yes.
Yebo?
Ngafonela ngikhumbula kahle ngafonela uWarren Maphafu ukuthi akafonela ama-photographer.
If I remember well, I called Warrant Officer Mapafu to call or to contact the photographer
Detective.
as well as the detectives.
Yes. And to which place is he attached?
Yena ukuyiphi indawo uMapafu?
So yase-CSC.
It's a CSC.
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 Yes. What is that?
Yini leyo CSC?
Client Service Center, police station.
It's at the police station. It's the client service center.
Yes. Yes, you may proceed.
Yebo?
After isikhathi kuke wangena uCaptain Zwane.
After some time, Captain Zwane came in.
So could please, my lord, will this be an appropriate time to take the short
Oh,
adjournment?
that's okay, thank you. 15 minutes break.
Hang on.